And welcome to Rubber Ducks. And welcome back to Rubber Ducks Let's Play / review of vintage video games. Today we're looking at Enix's game, the 7th Saga, as you see, put out in 1993. This game here is quite interesting. A lot of people don't like it, and a lot of people do like it. I equate it to being a Moxie game. Either you're going to like it or you're going to hate it, and not many people have ever said it's okay. So we'll go ahead and start up a game here. As you see, 7 different characters to choose from. You have a human, a dwarf, an elf, which is mainly magic, kind of a mage, an alien. Let's see, go back up to the top. We have a robot, we have another human here, and we have a demon. Now the demon and the alien don't really work well with others, but I'll explain that here in a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and start with the human warrior, just to make our lives easier, and let's give him a name here. We'll call him Duck, after me. Nope, not Dud. Duck. You want to work with me, controller. Alright. Yes, that's my correct name. Alright, so as you see, we start out here in the King's Throne Room, and we are given a mission to find the 7 runes. Now, the other 6 trainees, as we're going to call them, because they're not party members, are out to do the same thing. But you're not going to get them all to join your party. You'll actually only be allowed to have one join your party, and who will join is going to be based off of who it is that you are playing as. Some people can't have anybody join. Some people can have different people join, but other people will attack them. Sometimes to get a person to join your party, you actually have to beat them in battle enough times, or get to a certain level, get strong enough. And you got to be careful whenever fighting these guys, because they are usually 1 to 2 levels higher than you are. And if you're grinding and saying, I'm going to just get myself at a really high level and I'll be able to beat anything in these zones if I just grind enough, you're going to be really hurting. If you use an emulator or a Game Genie and you end up cheating, so that way you're level 99, you'll find yourself in a pickle when facing these guys, because they will still beat you up quite badly. Some people decide to just do it solo, and some people decide to have a partner with them. It all kind of depends on what you're looking for. Let's go ahead and do the standard RPG thing and go into every room that we can and steal all their treasure. So we'll get an antidote, and we have an opal. And this here, show you what an opal is. The opals can't be used anything, any type of gem. It can't be used for anything other than selling. It's a way in the game to preserve your money, because if you die, half your gold gets taken away. But if you buy a gem, the price you buy it for is the same price you sell it for. So an opal is worth 100 gold. I'll buy it for 100 gold and turn around and sell it for 100 gold. It's a great way to hold on to your money. Alright, so let's go this way here. We got another room. See. Anything in here? No, doesn't look like there's anything in here. Yeah, that room's empty. Out of my way. Okay. Now let's go ahead and head back down this way. I forgot a room. Oh well, I forgot a room. I can't remember if there's anything in there or not. So, alright, so let's go ahead and leave the castle here. Yeah, nothing over there, just fountains, and I don't think there's any rooms on the other side. This game is actually a very, very rare gem. Not many people know about it. Let's head in the weapon shop. Yeah, you can kind of tell which shop's at which. If it's got a big sword on it, it's a weapon shop. Big shield, it's an armor shop. But anyway, going back to the point of this, it's not very well known. The game was extremely difficult. It's still considered extremely difficult. So being able to go through and, beat it is quite hard. You have to grind, but you have to know how to level up properly, at what point to stop and try to get to the next town and be able to defeat the guys there, particularly the other people who are out looking for the runes. You got to be careful with them. It doesn't look like I can buy that yet. I still need some money, so okay, no, we don't care. Let's get out of here. Anyway, and if you look, like the big black plaque there, that's actually the inn. I don't know why it doesn't say inn on it, but we're not going to judge. Alright, so as you see in the upper left-hand corner, you have a crystal ball. That ball will show you where enemies are, where the runes are, treasure chests, things like that. Alright, now we're going to get into a fight. As you saw, I have 175 gold, so I'm going to actually show you what happens when you die to your gold. So that way you can see that you will lose half of it. Not that you don't believe me, but hey, why not, right? Alright, so there we go. I am dead. Oh no, that funky bird killed me. And because I didn't save anywhere, I automatically pop up back at the main castle. As you see, my gold's now 87, and it was 175, so they took half my gold for me to die. Alright, so let's go ahead and get out of here, and this time we're going to do our best not to die. Now, there are different aspects of this game. The runes will give you different powers. The bad guys, if you're fighting and a trainee kills you, you will lose your runes. They'll take all of them, and then you'll have to fight them while they have the powers of those runes, which can make it so that way you might as well just reset the game, depending on how many runes you have when you fight them. I've had it happen many times. It's a bit of a pain. Now, if you defend and then attack, you'll actually do more damage. It's a neat little trick until you start getting more powerful and can handle battles a lot easier. So, then we're going to run through here and just do a handful of battles and whatnot, because we're going to level up. I want to show you another thing here towards the end. So, defend, attack. Hey, we took him out with one hit. The creatures in this game are actually quite interestingly well done, and on top of that, they are given names that you wouldn't expect. I mean, the demons, they look like demons, but a hermit, you know, you wouldn't expect a hermit to look like a bug with a spear. The bird things that you saw me fight, they're called wyverns, which we normally equate a wyvern as looking like a dragon. There are things in here you just, you know, they don't fit the norm of what we normally think, which I like, because if you think on the concept of another world, they're not going to name a dog necessarily. They're going to call it whatever they call it. So there's no guarantee that, you know, well, we would call this thing like a bug or something like that. They call it a hermit. So it's really neat that way. They try to keep out of, with the creatures anyway, of the normal things. Which is kind of funny. I bring up the example of a dog because there is a bad guy in here who is the spirit of a dog, and they call him a dog. But anyhow, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so first town here, we're in this little hamlet, and go ahead and stay at the inn, and rest up and get ourselves some hit points back, down to 10. Yes, I want some food. Nom 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 nom, delicioso. Okay, so here we go. Now let's go ahead and head out of this town, and we're going to go and fight some more. Now, I'm not going to go and show you what people are talking about and stuff. I'm going to try to prevent as many spoilers as possible. This game is well, it is well done, and if you play through it, the storyline and stuff like that, you'll actually be glad that I didn't spoil anything, because the way it ends is quite interesting. So, there we go, another one that bites the dust. Oh. No, I haven't leveled yet. Okay, I think one or two more fights and I should level. I'll go back to the crystal ball real quick. As you notice, the little white dots that move around being the enemies, you can try to avoid enemies, which works out to an extent, but eventually they will overwhelm you and you'll get into a fight. Yay, fight the hermit. Nope. Ow. Alright, so, let's see here. More fighting. Get that out of the way. Hermit lost. No, oh, I guess I need another battle or two to go up a level. Challenge. Yeah, it's a pain. A lot of the complaints I hear about this game is the fact that you can't, it's not easy, but if you want an easy RPG that's just going to hold your hand until you get to the end and even beyond, you might as well play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This is not that type of game. This is a very challenging game. A lot of die-hard console RPGers will state that beating this game puts you in an elite class of RPGers because of the challenge that this game provides. It is, fairly linear in a sense. While you can explore the world, you do have to go and get the runes and beat the bad guy at the end. So it's not like the Ultima games where you have to raise up certain virtues, or like Wizardry, where you have free roam inside the dungeon. Even though you have to beat the bad guy at the end, you can still freely roam a dungeon or whatever. Ultimately, you're going to have to just push forward and go and get the runes and beat the bad guy. So, well, I guess Wizardry is fairly linear. Well, Wizardry does have the option of playing after you beat the bad guy, which is a neat feature, but this is not like that. Once you beat the bad guy, it is over. One of the great benefits of it is the 7 different characters, because of the way that they work with the other characters, I should say. You can go and play this game through all 7 times, soloing it, and then you can turn around and play it through and try to, pair up and see what parties work best for you. If you do play the robot, I will give you a bit of advice. Be mindful of your volume button, because the robot has this annoying clang noise that every step is present. It is rather annoying after a while. At first it's like, oh, that's cool, it makes a little clangy noise, and then by the time you hit the second city you're like, okay, mute, because it is really, really irritating. Although he does have some of the best features in the game. His spells are shooting lasers. And he doesn't get any equipment until near the end of the game is when he starts getting equipment. Let you know a few things about the different characters. The human warrior here, pretty much your standard all-around fighter. He'll be able to get equipment all throughout the game. The dwarf is the same way. The mage and the other human, the human cleric, are pretty much the same thing. Their weapons will, go out throughout the game. They'll change. The demon, I believe, as well. Now, the alien does not get weapons until later in the game, if I remember correctly, and the robot, I know he doesn't get weapons until later in the game. I believe the demon is a solo character. You can't pair up with anybody with him. I believe the alien is another one. I know that the human fighter here can pair up with I believe he can pair up with the robot as well as the dwarf, but I'm not certain on the dwarf. And I think he might even be able to pair up with the female elf mage. So let's go ahead and use a potion here so we don't die again. I don't want to lose my money. I already showed you guys what that looked like once. Don't need to show it again. So defend and then attack. There we go. Yep. And there are times where you'll face 3 enemies. 3 enemies at once is the most you'll face. And of course speed is going to determine who gets the hit first. Oh, there we go, level 3. Alright. And I learned a fire spell, finally. That's right, I can shoot balls of fire now. Right, let's go in and rest up here. And we'll go out. I'll go check out a new zone. I'll show you real quickly inside the first, castle thing. And you can see a few little things in there. If you're not ready when you go into a new zone, you will get your butt handed to you. The difficulty does change rapidly when you pass through a cave. There are very nasty things out there. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna go buy a pearl. Pearls are worth 200 gold. So opals are 100 gold, pearls are 200 gold, and topazes are 500. And then they go up from there. Diamond, I believe, is the most expensive at 10,000. And you can only have 9 of them. So if you have 9 of each and you still have a ton of money, just hope you don't die if you care about that money. Otherwise, you just sell off the gems. It's not a big deal. Eventually money just kind of fades out. Once you're pretty well set on equipment, what money will fade out. Let's see here, can we get into some more fights? There we go. It's like that guy was hiding in that little corner. And it's another hermit. And attack, and then attack him again. So it's kind of your strategy in a lot of battles at the beginning, is just to defend, and then attack, and then defend, and attack. You do more damage, and the fight will be over quicker. If you just keep attacking, you run the risk of something being a bit more powerful than you. So, and yeah, you'll see that also later on in the game when you start fighting the other travelers. I'm trying to do this as spoil-free as possible. I don't want to give too much away. I mean, not even in the beginning, because the storyline's a really good game. You know, it makes a really good storyline, and you know, doing the little tasks there and how they actually work out and benefit you. So that thing right there is a demon. As you can tell, it kind of looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, with a couple tree branches sticking out of his head. So there we go. Show you a fireball spell. Now, monsters can dodge spells. So I don't think that just because you cast a spell that it's going to be an automatic hit. It doesn't work that way. So, alright. Let's see here. What are we fighting now? Another hermit. Oh, he dodged my attack. There we go, take that. Alright. Let's go in here and rest up. Get back to health and magic points. You're going to be doing this a lot, so get used to it. Know where your inns are, so it's less travel as possible. Yes, I would like a room. Alright. Let's go ahead and head out now. As you see, I just kind of walked past those couple enemies. Alright, yeah, I'm going to head over to the castle now. Show you inside there. Oops, you lowered my defense. Yeah, the spells are here are pretty interesting. Not your standard spells, some of them anyway. You know, you get your fires and your ice and stuff like that, but their animations and sound effects are really well done. And there are other spells that are just really cool looking to watch. So, alright, so head in here, head right up these stairs. Okay, and there you go. Now you see those yellow dots? Those yellow dots represent treasure chests. If it's a yellow dot, it's a treasure chest. If it's a white dot, it's an enemy. If it is a flashy dot, that's where the runes are. So, you may see it as a city that is flashing. There, see, he just dodged my spell. Anyway, a city that's flashing, that's the sign of a rune inside the city. You see inside a cave, you know, the flashing, that's a sign that there's a rune inside the cave and inside a treasure chest. Sometimes the rune can be held by an enemy. There's one point, you know, slight spoiler alert, there's one point where there's a rune behind a dragon and you gotta fight the dragon in order to get the rune. And that dragon is tough. And if you wait too long, the rune disappears, and you have to go hunting for it. Now, unfortunately, the enemies don't care about walls. They do pass through them, so that makes it a little bit of a pain to try to get two places when you see that, you know, you can't walk through the wall, but they can. So let's get healed up here. This thing is much more powerful than I am. I shouldn't even be here until at least level 5. So, there we go. And that's if I haven't fully stocked on potions. There we go, level 4, yay! More stats go up. But I just want to show you the inside of a place. The squareness of the rooms and stuff like that, you know, you're not going to see anything round and circular. Everything is, you know, fairly well designed as squares. The dungeons will eventually look the same when you're going through the caves. They'll start to all look the same. There's only pretty much 2 different types, so you're not going to get much of a variety there. But going through, you know, the castles are going to look the same. Some of them will clear out all the enemies once you defeat the bad guy at the end. Some of them will not. So, let's go and defend and then attack. So this guy here hits quite hard. That's because I'm level 4 and I shouldn't be in here at level 4. Hey, the Chimera lost. Okay, so we'll go down and see if we can grab those treasure chests without getting killed. Let's see. Oh, I got a potion. Yay, I'm going to use that right now. Okay, let's go see what's in the other chest. Oh, I'm gonna get attacked again. See, it's another chimera. Yep, another chimera. Okay. Yeah, just because you fight the same enemy type over and over again doesn't mean that they that's all there is. There are different enemies in this one, at least one different type. So yeah, so quickly on the review here. Graphics, I'm going to give it a 7. It's got some pretty good graphics, especially for the day, but the colors tend to be a bit washed out. I can understand, you know, you're supposed to be looking at a world in peril, so they don't want it to seem like it's all bright and colorful and cheery. By the way, those P seeds there, those are increase your power by 1. Other seeds that you find will increase other stats by 1 point permanently. So, alright, so graphics about a 7. Sound, I love the music for the game, I love the sound effects, so I'm going to go ahead and toss that one a 9, just because the robot's sound effects can get very irritating after a while. But like when you cast one of his spells, it literally sounds like 1,000 laser guns going off at once. You know, kind of like Star Wars, all the laser shots in Star Wars were compilated into a 30-second thing, 30-second sound effect. Yeah, let's see here, what else? Replayability, I'm going to give that one a 9. There are 7 different characters and different things you can do with them, so you can definitely stop playing this game and then replay it. Even though it's the same storyline, you get the effect of trying to get different characters to join your party and seeing who hates who and who likes who. Let's see what else is there. Music is good, we already talked about that in the sound. It's got pretty decent music and good graphics and such. I think that is about it. I really can't think of much else to talk about. So, yeah, check it out, 7th Saga. It's a really good game. If you can find it on the cartridge form, definitely buy it. Pop it in your Super Nintendo and enjoy. If you beat the game, definitely leave a comment below and let me know. If you rage quit on the game, let me know as well. But just don't cry, it's too hard. It's designed to be hard. Like I said, if you want an easy game, go play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. That one will hold your hand all the way to the end. So, but anyway, so I'm going to let you go here, so that way you guys can wait for another video to come out. This here's the rubber duck on the side. We going bye-bye.